Chapter 6. How to Learn to Say No Without Feeling Guilty. Many of us were convinced since childhood that we should always help people and never refuse to help. We were told that refusing a request is a sign of selfishness and weakness. We are afraid of offending another person or losing their favor. As a result, we say yes when our body and mind are screaming no. We take on too many responsibilities, agree to unnecessary meetings, and spend our energy on other people's problems. The outcome is always the same: exhaustion and increasing stress. The ability to set boundaries is not selfish. It is self-care. It's a skill that allows you to preserve your energy, time, and peace of mind. This chapter will teach you this art. We will explore what personal boundaries are, why it's so important to protect them, and how to do it confidently and without feeling guilty. What are personal boundaries? Personal boundaries are the principles that govern how you relate to other people and how they relate to you. They help you clearly define what you are willing to accept and what you are not to maintain your energy, calm, and peace of mind. Boundaries come in different types. Physical. This is your personal space. It's about how you allow others to touch you and how close they can be. Emotional. This is your ability to separate your feelings from the feelings of others. It's the skill of not taking responsibility for others' emotions and not letting their mood affect yours. Time. This is your relationship with time. It's how you allocate your time between work, rest, family, and friends. Setting time boundaries means you don't allow others to steal your time. Intellectual. This is your right to your own opinion and beliefs. It's the ability to have a dialogue without arguing, respecting another person's point of view, but not allowing them to impose their own. When our boundaries are violated, we feel uncomfortable, angry, or hurt. This is an internal signal that tells us, you are being treated unfairly. Your space has been violated. Ignoring this signal leads to chronic stress and burnout. Practicing assertiveness. Your main tool. To learn to protect your boundaries, you need to master assertiveness. Assertiveness is the golden mean between passivity and aggression. Passivity. You avoid conflict at all costs, agreeing to everything even if you don't like it. You are afraid of offending others, but sacrifice your own interests. Your main emotions are hurt and a feeling of powerlessness. Aggression. You defend your interests, but violate the boundaries of others, ignoring their feelings. Your main emotion is anger, and you get your way through force. Assertiveness. You confidently and politely defend your interests and boundaries without violating those of others. You respect both yourself and the person you are talking to. You can say no without feeling guilty because you understand that you have every right to do so. Assertiveness begins with a simple realization: your needs are just as important as the needs of other people. How to become assertive. Practical steps. To become assertive, you need to start small. You won't be able to immediately learn to defend your personal boundaries without violating the boundaries of others. Start with simple, everyday situations. Define your boundaries. Before you talk to others about your boundaries, define them for yourself. What is unacceptable to you? What requests cause you tension? What makes you feel like your kindness is being taken for granted? Write it down. Awareness is the first and most important step. Be specific. Instead of, "I don't like it when you do that," say, "I feel uncomfortable when you raise your voice at me." The more specific you are, the easier it is for the other person to understand you and correct their behavior. Learn to say no without explanations. Many of us feel obligated to provide a long explanation for why we can't fulfill a request. In reality, this is not the case. Sometimes it's enough to simply say, "Unfortunately, I have to decline." The less you explain, the fewer reasons you give the other person to argue. Start small. If you're used to saying yes to everything, start practicing on small, insignificant requests. For example, if someone asks you to get them coffee, respond that you are busy right now. See how it feels, and realize that the world didn't end. The Refusal Manifesto. Ready-made templates for different situations. Now that we've covered the theory, let's move on to practice. Here are a few universal templates that will help you learn to say no in different situations. You can modify them to suit yourself, but remember that the main goal is to be polite but firm. Refusal at work. When asked to take on extra tasks, thanks for the trust, but I'm completely focused on another project right now, and if I take this on as well, I won't be able to meet the deadlines. It's important for me to do my work well. When asked to work overtime and you can't, unfortunately, I can't stay late today. I already have plans. When someone distracts you from an important task, excuse me, but I can't be distracted right now. I need to finish this. Let's discuss it in an hour. Refusal in personal life, with friends or acquaintances. When invited somewhere you don't want to go. Thanks for the invitation, but I won't be able to make it. I hope you have a great time. And that's it. No explanations. When asked for help and you don't have the energy, I'm really sorry, but I can't help right now. I'm very tired and need to recharge. When you don't want to discuss a certain topic, I'd rather not talk about that right now. Could we change the subject? Refusal with family. When parents or relatives impose their opinion, I know you mean well, but I've made a different decision. This is my life, and I'm responsible for it. When you are criticized, I've heard your opinion. I'll think about it, but for now, I'll stick with my own. How to deal with guilt after refusing. Even if you confidently said no, you will likely still feel guilty. This is a normal reaction, as you've been used to acting differently for years. In such cases, remind yourself that you have the right to refuse. You are not obligated to sacrifice your interests for others. Your time, energy, and peace of mind are valuable resources that must be protected. Focus on your needs. You said no, not because you are a bad person, but because you are taking care of yourself. You are doing this to prevent burnout. The ability to set boundaries is not a one-time action, but a constant practice. With each time, it will become easier. You will feel your energy returning, and with it, the joy of life.